Well, yeah, there was some issues about the mold, like especially in the, I think it was the grade one area here, Gail Nottaway's room. Like when they asked me to come and help clean up here, there was like you could smell the mold, right? So I think that's why they closed it down. The smell has gone a little bit, but we're not sure how well they were able to clean it on the bottom.
Yeah.
So at times there are some parents that were a little reluctant to send their kids to the school because of the mold issue in the school, right?
Yeah.
So because and the teachers here could be liable for that too, and the principal. But like did a good job by shutting it down until they were able to get some of the infrastructure in the basement here cleaned up a little bit better. So
Yeah.
it's like for them, it's a little bit of a win, but at the same time, like is it still there? Kind of like the looming subject of is it going to be there or not? I think right now is what they're going to have to do is they probably have to steam it all on the bottom just to make sure everything is out and properly taken care of. But at the same time, you're not sure even if you get in there, is it worth saving because the school is so old, right? Just like I was telling you, this part over here was the older section over here, so that's where most of the damages have occurred. Plus it's really old, so I'm pretty sure most of it over here have some more mold left. Because I'm not sure if they steamed the bottom of the floors yet, but I know they were taking steps to make sure that most of the mold was taken care of. But I'm not sure how far along they went
Yeah.
in that area.
Yeah. And what happens to the kids when the school's shut down?
What happens to the kids when the school shut down, there's other buildings that they go to sometimes, like just to compensate for some of the work they lost because, like a week out of school could put a kid behind by at least a month, right? So what they do is they just go to different buildings and then they do take their classes there.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's touch and go sometimes. But they're getting along with the school. But I'm not. But I say we need a new one.
Yeah.
Like it's time for a new one. Like it's been. I worked here for 13 years before, and it was starting. You could tell the decay was starting to happen at that time.
Yeah.
Like the floors were starting to warp a little bit and stuff like that. And you knew it was time for something different. Like a change of the building at least.
Yeah. And can you tell us a bit about the school that the government had promised to build and then the delays with it?
The delays with that is that the school was supposed to be built, when was that? Last year, I believe, in this section back here. But there was a stoppage to it, so I'm not sure where the stoppage came from. But, after new chief of council came in, it was like kind of halted because everybody has to resync with what's happening. Like, make sure everybody's back on the same page because they're starting out as a new council. So
Yeah.
eventually we'll get a school. Hopefully, that's what it's beneficial for the kids and teachers and employees, everybody that'll be in the school most of the time. And it was like an agreement made to get a new school. But like I was telling you, like there was a stoppage, and like with the new chief of council, like I said, they had to resync and make sure everything was right, and to try to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And do you find that there's a different standard of buildings and of schooling between Indigenous and non-Indigenous communities?
Oh yeah, you could tell. Like most of the schools in the towns, they're made out of bricks. They're easier to fungicide or whatever they call it. But anyways, yeah, it's easier for them to do it because when you do it with wood, everything saturates, so it's a little harder for you to maintain the bottom of the schools like that without proper ventilation. As you can see, like, there's not very many here, so that alone with the moisture buildup, it'll eventually turn into that.
Yeah.
But everything in the town schools, they have like better infrastructure. The buildings are more solid, maintained. Like when it's time for repairs, they get it right away. Here we wait for a while because we have to wait for the materials, we have to wait for the go ahead, and it's just very time consuming most times.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is at most. So,
Yeah.
They try to do what they can at times.
Yeah.
With what we have, it's like do or don't. So
Yeah.
we try to have a do attitude around here.
Yeah. And you mentioned that the children go to other buildings around the community.
Yeah, like they go. There's another building over here called the T class. Well, it used to be called a T class, but it's a kindergarten now.
Okay.
So they share some of that sometimes, and sometimes they go to the daycare. You know, like it's just about the community working together, making sure everybody's having what they need in education. You know?
Yeah.
You know, we try to group together as much as we can. You know, find places for them to work. Try not to keep the schools closed too often because of the mold issues, like I was saying. So other than that, it's like you do what you can with what you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Underneath all this right here, and it was underneath all that right here. This building is where the mold was.
Okay.
We can't get into it from the outside, but yeah, the mold is very evident. You could smell it almost.
Okay.